What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another. This is your virtual coach, Jesse Miller, coming to you live here from the Buckeye State. Hanging out this morning. Today, guys, listen, we're going to be doing a story. I'm going to be having a story today. We're going to be talking about, are you a rhino or are you a cow? So listen to him. It's a great story. A friend of mine and one of my mentors, John Lavinia, actually told me this story, so I wanted to share it with you. So if you guys are ready, I'm going to give you a good story here that'll actually help you to start to think a little bit, because it helped me. So if you're just coming on, make sure you give me some love down below. Let me know who you are, where you're coming in from. Give me a 1 down below, and just tell us where you're coming from. But let's jump into it. So let's look at where the story begins. The story begins with some cows who are out in the pasture. And these cows, every day they're corralled into a pasture where they eat, right? And they eat every day, and then they're corralled into another pasture where they sleep. And every day they go in and out, and their pasture where they're corralled, and it's the same old thing. So there's this one particular cow. And he starts to think, well, there's got to be more to this. There's got to be more to just being eating and sleeping and eating and sleeping and being corralled into one place and being corralled into another place. There has to be something different. And, this cow, he knew that there was something different about him, and that, that what he was doing right now wasn't right. He just didn't feel like this was all there was, right? He kept thinking, there's got to be more to this. And as one day that, he was corralled into the pasture where they eat, he looked out into the far distance and saw this jungle. And, he never seen the jungle before. He was kind of blinded by, the fact of just, eating and sleeping every day, that he just didn't take the time to really look out and see that jungle. And, he started every day now, he came out, he kept looking at that jungle, wondering why he never seen that jungle before, and started thinking, well, what's out there? What's really out there? And, as he started really digging, into himself and thinking, well, I really want to know what's out there. I want to know what's out in that jungle. And, there's got to be something more than just this corral. So, one day, he, out of nowhere, enough was enough, and decided to run out that pasture and run into the jungle. And it's funny because there was never anything holding him back from running to the jungle, but they just never did, right? It was just that fact of never doing it or even seeing it. So, he ran out into the jungle, and when he got to the jungle, he noticed that, there was a lot of different things out there, right? There was a lot of, bugs and snakes and all kinds of crazy things that were out there. And also, he started noticing that there were some other cows out there who were, there were some younger ones, some older ones. And as he started going through the jungle, he started seeing, these other cows, and he started learning. He started learning some things from the older cows, and took what he learned from the older cows and started teaching the younger cows. And although, they were getting eaten by mosquitoes and, even bitten by snakes, it never stopped him from, moving through that jungle and constantly trying to find the other end of that jungle. He kept thinking, well, I just want to keep going and find out what's on the other side of this jungle, because if I've never seen this jungle until now, and now I'm in this jungle, there's got to be something else out there. So as he's going through this jungle and getting eaten and by mosquitoes and bitten by all kinds of different snakes and things, and learning again from the older cows that are in there and the younger cows that he was teaching, finally one day he came to this opening of the jungle. And that opening ran him right into what paradise. He started looking out and he's like, wow, is this what's really out there? How come I never knew that this paradise was out here? But the funny thing was, when he came out of the end of that jungle into that paradise, he wasn't a cow anymore. He was actually a rhino. He was actually a rhino. He didn't know that he was a rhino, and he couldn't figure out why he always felt the way he did. But now he was in this paradise, and now he came out as a rhino, and then there was more rhinos out there. It wasn't crazy, but there was a lot of different rhinos out there. And although he got bitten by all these snakes and mosquitoes, it never hurt him. It never affected him. He never let it stop him from reaching the end of that jungle and hitting paradise. And what he started thinking was, well, maybe the reason it didn't affect him when he was getting bitten by the snakes and the mosquitoes and pushing through is because he was a rhino. And rhinos have thick skin. So it just never affected him. So, he came out as a rhino and found out that, life was different, that he was something different. So he turned around and he looked and he started seeing all the other cows that were in the jungle starting to come out. And they wasn't coming out all at once. They were coming out one at a time, and one here, one there. And as they came out, they were actually coming out as rhinos as well. So he started thinking, well, are those cows in the pasture or are they rhinos? So the moral of the story is everybody on this call, you in particular, are rhinos. We're all rhinos. But we're made to feel like we have to be a cow every single day. And as long as you let life and you let other people guide you in and out of the corral, you're always going to be stuck thinking you're a cow when you're actually a rhino. So, do you want to be a cow or do you want to be a rhino? Okay? So I want you guys to think about that today, because it started making me think about this, and it really started to change the way I started looking at the things that I do every day. But when I heard this story, it just really made sense, right? It made sense that we're all stuck in this corral in the beginning, thinking that all there is to life is being guided to do this and told to do that, and never really reaching the jungle, never really reaching the other side of the jungle and hitting paradise. And that's what most people deal with on a daily basis. So I want you to be different. I want you to be the rhino that you are. So I want you to go out there today and start thinking about this. I want you to go out and start changing that if you want. If you want to change. If you want to be the rhino that you are, I want you to start to change that. And that's going to take you being able to take all the objections and rejections that you get in your business, right? And that's like the rhino did, right? He started getting hit and bitten by all these different snakes and mosquitoes, but he didn't let it affect him because his skin was too strong. So what he did was he just kept pushing through until he hit the end of paradise. And now he's living in paradise as a rhino. So that's what I want you to do. I want that for you. I want you to use that thick skin that you have, and I want you to barrel through that jungle, and I want you to reach the other side of paradise and come hang out with the rhinos. All right? Okay, guys, I hope you got some value today. I really was inspired by this story, so I hope you got a little bit of inspiration from this story. I appreciate you guys being on. I love you guys. And also, there's a book out there that I would suggest. It's called Rhinoceros Success. Rhinoceros Success. Great book. Great book. So go check it out. It really digs into what I'm talking about here. So if that's something that you're interested in, go check it out. You can get it on Amazon or whatever. I'm not an affiliate, of course, but it's a great book. All right, guys. Well, that's my my coaching advice for today. I hope you got some value out of that. I'm Jesse Miller. Hey, make sure you share this video with someone else. If you think this will help give some value for their day, make sure you share this with someone. And also make sure that you subscribe to my live feed. I'll be bringing more value like this every day, and a lot of coaching tips and training. But that's it, my friend. Have a great Saturday. Go out there, enjoy your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on another day of coaching, and we'll go over some really cool things. All right, I love you guys. Have a great Saturday. We'll see you soon.